Hello and welcome to the Cardboard Guide. So in this video, we are going to be talking about 2025 in design of sorcery. We're also going to talk a little bit about what we hope is going to happen next year, because we are right now at the edge of 2026. So hello and welcome to everyone. And of course, during this talk, if you want to ask us questions, just let us know down in the comment section.
Indeed. So we're going to be sort of taking you through the year and saying a bit about what happened in 2025 and also just like some of our highlight moments. Please feel free to share some of your highlight moments. Hello there, Cosmic see you. We're going to be taking you through some of our highlights, your highlights, and maybe we should start off like what happened in 2025. What are like some of the moments that you would call as the big moments?
Rims are dropping, it says.
Weird. Interesting. Seems like we have a bit of a connection issue.
That's annoying, huh?
That's weird. Usually it is actually not a big thing. You are not. We should be on our regular Wi-Fi. Let's see if we can continue. Yeah. So what are some of your, like, not your moments, but what were some of like the big things that happened with sorcery in 2025?
Oh, a lot of things happened. One of the very big things that I think a lot of people maybe underestimated a bit was, of course, the release of the Dragonlord set.
Yeah.
That was very anticipated and very, very. All the arts were by Ed Beard Jr. and we also had an interview with Ed.
Yes.
You can go watch it in our interview channel on the what's it called?
Cardboard Conversations, the playlist that will have all of the interviews we've done with the artist.
Yeah, but that was really cool and it was really hard to get. We in Europe didn't actually get really our hands on it. And a lot of places it was sold out or it didn't arrive. But you know, some lucky people out there actually got their hands on the Dragonlord mini set. And I think it has been a very enjoyable product. And I hope to see more mini sets actually in 2026. That could be really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the Dragonlord was a big thing in terms of sort of getting a hold of a lot of new people. There were a lot of Ed's collectors that sort of like peeked into sorcery and discovered it that way. But I also think that there were like some issue with availability, distribution. So I think like Dragonlord was like both really positive, but also a few downsides to it. The product itself was great. It was beautiful, well made and everything. But I hope for future sets, if we get more mini sets like it, that availability is going to be better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I also think, you know, it was sort of a test run, and it also proved that mini sets is actually a viable thing in sorcery. They do sell. They're not collecting dust on shelves, even though there was only 13 cards.
Yeah.
So, you know, going forward in 2026, Dragonlord might actually be the benchmark that says mini sets could be a thing in future sorcery.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're talking not just like confined to game and meta play, it has like right now at least limited effect on the meta. But in terms of like getting new eyes, making something new and interesting happen, just getting some news out there for sorcery, I think that was like definitely something that a lot of people sort of drew people's attention. Hi, good to see you, Gregor, everybody else. Thank you so much for joining. Please do feel free to ask any questions. We're just like sort of hanging out with you guys and wrapping up the year of 2025 and looking forward into 2026 and seeing what's going on there. So on my list, I also wrote organized play. That was definitely also like a big thing in 2025. The company had like said from the beginning, we're not interested. We're more of a kitchen table kind of game. But we did get organized play. We got like the local cornerstones, the regional crossroads, and then we have yet to experience the big Avatar of the Realm that's coming up in 2026. So what was your take on the organized play and the way they launched it, the pricing, the way they decided to organize it?
I think it was cool. I'm more of a kitchen play, you know, kitchen table player myself. So I think my initial reaction was actually maybe a bit disappointed because I liked the fact about sorcery that it was a very kitchen table friendly game. It wasn't going to be competitive. It was going to be a cozy, fun game that a lot of people had as a sort of side game. And then you could just enjoy that yearly release, build some fun decks, have some fun with your friends, and it didn't need to be something very competitive and very focused on the right game pieces.
Yeah.
So my initial reaction was a bit disappointing, actually, because I was like, do we need that organized play? We have a lot of people doing great tournaments out there. Do we really need the company to step in and sort of do an umbrella sort of organized play? But then again, I also think it's cool that you get, free dust, you get extra dust. There's some prize support. There's also some store kits, organized play, to draw people in, and you can still have the same sort of very kitchen friendly vibe when you play. We have in our LGS. So my second reaction was, I think it's great. Yeah. I don't hope it's going to take too much of a focus. I don't hope it's going to be, shifting all towards only having competitive organized play. But I think it's nice that we have both. What about you?
I think like some of the things that they really did well was to make sure that even though it is organized, it is more competitive, they sort of also structured the pricing in a way that leans towards also just having fun and participating. So you get like participation cards. There are like playmats that will be randomly raffled off at your cornerstone, even also for Crossroads. I believe there were also some random pricing in there. And I think like the addition of having like random prizes that are not contingent upon you being the best player, but rather just you showing up, participating, supporting the community, supporting the game. I think that sort of, it gives a different vibe to it. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not just supporting top three, you're supporting multiple people and also just like randomly. I also think like that the fact that they sort of had the goal of also having artists, being sure to make sure that some of the sorcery team will be present, sort of shifted from away from being purely competitive to also adding something about just being there, enjoying sorcery, celebrating the game, having fun. So I think like organized play is a good thing, but I do also enjoy a lot of the different sort of community-driven events. Siege at the Core, we do Ask and Rask in Germany. There's like a lot of different also in the US that are just like community driven, and that's been great to see. So I do hope that there's like room for both of them so they can sort of complement each other.
Let's see some comments.
Yes, let's do that indeed. Let's see here. So we had a lot of fun also with players from nearby countries, even though we got our cornerstone kit very late. Yeah, again, there is still like some issue with like getting the welcome kit, some of the cornerstone kits. It does seem like it's not completely like a fluent process yet. But I think like what the kits contain is really great. They have like usually a lot of different things, participation, playmats, promos, all these kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but of course they need to arrive on time.
Yes, absolutely. Also because otherwise somebody else sort of has to front the pricing. What are we saying here? I don't mind if they dip lightly into competitive waters as long as they don't forget this should be casual game first.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think like, I think that's important to sort of signal from the sorcery team, because I feel like the people who want to be competitive, they will always find like a way to sort of battle against each other and make it competitive. Whereas the company should sort of like set the sort of idea that they're making a great product, and if people want to compete, they have a venue and a space for it, but it's also very welcoming and fine to just enjoy it as a kitchen table player.
Yeah, and I also think that what you mentioned about pricing being raffled out, being more random, I think that is also very supportive for a more casual sort of competitive scene, because if you have a very big, cash prize or maybe a card prize that's also very valuable, then it's going to draw in the competitive crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas if the first prize pool is not that valuable and a lot of prizes are being raffled out randomly, then it's going to have a much more casual feel.
Yeah, I think like actually there were some pretty valuable stuff at the Crossroads because the rainbow foil avatars that have like this really special treatment are really valuable. But I do think that just having the idea of participation cards and random stuff sort of at least signals that they want to also be more casual. So what are we saying? Oh, hi there, guys. I don't know if it's Zach or Phil, but good to see you. I have to say, I'm pretty bummed that SCG will not have Crossroadsmen for the first 3 events this year. I appreciate the non-competitive stuff, but not going to travel over US for it. Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know if they are saying that they won't have it or they simply haven't announced it yet. As far as I could see, they mentioned like some dates from January until March, where at the SCG Con Sorcery would be present with some tournaments. But I think it was fairly sort of intentionally vague. And I think there might be crossroads connected maybe to some of them. Oh, good to know, Isaac. So I'm not sure that it means that they won't have any crossroads events, just that they're not ready to announce anything yet. And that might also have something to do with like the judges and the whole judge program sort of being in flux still.
Yeah, but that could also be a great little segue to some of the other talking points on the table.
Yes. Judge program. That was also a new thing in 2025. There's been a lot of talk about it for a long time. And finally, they sort of at least opened or an article about the judge program sort of mentioned it. There was also the test that you could take to see if you sort of met the requirements to become or at least apply to become a judge. But I don't think they have any, like, you applied.
I applied, yes.
And you haven't heard anything back yet, right?
Not yet.
No. So I think like they're still working out some of the sort of like formalities and maybe also some of the structuring behind it. At least people haven't heard back. But again, it was fairly late and towards the holiday season. So maybe in beginning of 2026, they will return and let people know if they qualified and what the program is going to look like.
Yeah, I hope so. And it was a really cool test. I had a lot of mistakes, going in the first time and then way better the second time. And I think I got it all right the third time. Might be the fourth, but let's say the third. It sounds better, right?
Definitely.
But it was also just a nice test to take, to sort of get your rules knowledge together and some of these sort of hard border cases that, harder to figure out. It was like, what is actually going to happen here? So I really like that sort of part with it, and I hope that they're going to do some follow-ups. Not, making people judges all over the place, but doing some more of these tests could be really good. Also for a more casual sort of vibe, casual player like myself, just be better at the rules because that's nice.
Yeah, but maybe they should
do
like a judge test that's more like serious, and then there could be like a fun questionnaire-ish, which would be more for just like sort of like getting into the rules and just like casual players could sort of like definitely. Just sort of take a different sort of test to just like figure out the rules.
Yeah, both could coexist at the same time. Yeah. But I think, at some sort of point, you want the more advanced test also as a casual player.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're going to get into some of the more murky waters with the rules, where it's actually kind of hard to know what is actually going to happen here. And mistakes are being made also in a very casual sort of game. I did a very big bummer in our sealed event actually with Gothic.
Yeah.
It was to my own downfall and detriment, of course. But one of the other players came, but it doesn't give the bonus because he's on the ground. It was like, shit. But at that point, the game had progressed. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, Dr. Bansai here is one of the Whatnotters. Please go check out if you want to get some packs ripped on Whatnot. That is one of the ways to procure some Gothic. I think that the level of price support for Crossroad feels about right for the spirit of the game. Maintains a casual vibe while still providing some substantial allure for the promos. Yeah, definitely. For sure. I think they're striking the right balance. And I think that's something that they are being very intentional about, sort of like trying to give the competitive hardcore players something to strive for and some promos, some cool stuff, while not giving, for instance, Flesh and Blood did like a really hardcore tournament scene with really big cash prizes. And it was very clear that there were really focused on organized play. Here it definitely feels more like, yeah, we're going to give you a setting, we're going to do a structure, and there's something to play for, but we're not like making it something where you can be a professional sorcery player in terms of just like living off cash support. So I think that fits really well.
Yeah, and also as you mentioned, the Rainbow Foil Sorcerer.
Yeah,
there are some
quite
light
valuable
prices out there.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I mean, I think for some of maybe it's Avatar of the Realm, there will be some original paintings offered up also as pricing. So I mean, that's fairly valuable as well. Oh, we have question. Is there a promo you would like to have in your collection? Oh yeah. Yes. What are you thinking about?
Well, at the sort of low tiers,
yes,
I would like the cat sorcerers.
Yes, from Severine Pinot.
The what's it called?
The Apprentice Wizard and the Grand Meow.
Yes. Those two, I think they're very fun and gimmicky. At the high tier,
the most expensive level.
The most expensive level, I would love to have a Relentless Dead. Crowd.
Yes.
I love the art. It's just very cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see a sort of card like that. You know, we have the wolves.
Yeah, it's sort of like...
Can we get that undead?
I think that might be a little crazy in terms of synergy, but yeah, let's not go there. Yeah, I
Who wants
think
balance?
Personally, I would completely die to be able to have the sketch card back of the Sorcerer. The sketch is by Francesca Baralt, and I know there are at least some floating out there. At least we saw at one point like a stack of them lying down there, but the sketch promo where some of them are unsigned and some of them are signed by Eric, that would be really, really cool. I think it's a beautiful thing. I really enjoy like the sketch of it, and I think just like it's a really beautiful piece of art. So I would love to have that promo. We have a lot of really cool, fun stuff that people have been kind enough to send and that we've collected over the years. But I think like that would be a really nice thing to add. Omega Su, thank you so much. I always really smile when I see your name in the comments. I think you have like been the top tier commenter always on the video, so we really appreciate that. Like this is something that we do in our spare time and we really enjoy it, so getting that little bit of support in the comments just makes all the difference.
Day of Judgment, good one.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's really pretty. It's really a beautiful piece of art. Zach is saying, honestly, pricing is pretty flat at their events. Everyone walks away with a ton of value. I think that keeps everyone chill, and good sportsmanship is the result. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And let's keep it there, because I think like that's also part of the enjoyment going to a sorcery tournament, is that you can sort of like, my experience has been like everybody's super kind, super nice, and I really hope that's something that continues.
Donna's angry. Yeah, I completely agree. My favorite color is yellow. So when I saw the promo from this week, I was like, oh, I need that.
Yes.
And I saw the price, and I was like, oh, I don't need that.
Oh, you might need it, but we're definitely not getting it.
Yeah, but then again, I love that, you know, we have so many ROM pieces in Gothic.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my yellow saturation craving sort of stated.
Yeah, especially if you get some in foil as well.
Yeah. What did we?
We got a ghoul.
A ghoul in foil, yeah.
And one of the other ones, I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember what it's called, but you know, that barbarian-looking sort of...
Oh, Intrepid Hero.
Yes.
Yes.
That in foil.
Yeah.
So many things in foil I would like.
I actually just rebooted my entire entire system for the curios on our Discord. So every set has its own sales data with its own challenge, because it just makes it a lot more easy and sort of easy to read as well. And someone just reported a sale that happened I think 1 or 2 days ago for the Death Speaker, the Bronze Hero, and the estimated value because it was some money and some original paintings and but the estimated trade value was around 10 to 12,000 euro. So that's a lot of money. So the Death Speaker promo is definitely still worth a lot of money.
I don't think my boss likes me that much or at all, so it might not happen.
Yeah. I think that might be too expensive. So what?
Brown Werewolf, yes,
that would be awesome. So what I've also sort of thought about is we've seen a lot of new players come into the game, and I think that is partially about Gothic, but I also think like coming to the Star City Games convention for Sorcery, being there, having a lot of the awesome community playing, having fun, enjoying the game, showing off the cards, for people to walk by and see those amazing big play mats with the beautiful art on it. I think that has really moved a lot of new players into the game. Also because like I think we have had some amazing community-driven events for Sorcery, but of course, if you're at a Sorcery event, you already know the game, presumably. So I think the idea of like going out to bigger card conventions and sort of like exposing a lot of new people to Sorcery has been really important. And we can definitely see the numbers on all the socials, in all the Discord groups, really have gone up a lot, which has been amazing. Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely. I think like a lot of people are coming in right now saying that like some of the SCG cons were their like first experience with Sorcery.
And welcome.
And welcome, definitely. But also I think like TCG Player also had a lot of highlight articles. They did like a lot of features where they were like on the front page. I also think that some of the things that have been like big, so Dragon Lord, Organized Play, Judge Program are all sort of like things that are for the existing Sorcery community, but the whole sort of like Star City Games, that is something that in 2025 really drew in a lot of new people.
Yeah, it really did. And also the articles, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think like
TCG
Player also had a lot to do with new people coming in probably. So Gothic came out this year, came out a bit later, a good deal later if you're in Europe, unfortunately.
Our LGS still hasn't gotten Gothic.
No, and unfortunately, if you are in the UK, I believe that nobody has Gothic yet in the UK, unfortunately. So that is indeed looking like it might be in January. So while that is not great, and there is still some issue with shipping and distro, I think we have to say that Gothic as a product in 2025 is like a home run. I think it's a set that will really stand the test of time. It's a massive set. There are a ton of new avatars, so a lot of new gameplay added to the game. The art feels like beautiful on each individual card, but like together, it also feels super cohesive. I feel like it all fits and like belongs together, which was pretty much the same experience in alpha and beta. So it feels like returning to the roots, even though it's only 3 years old. So I think like Gothic is going to be like a major positive for 2025 as well, and going onward.
Yeah, definitely. And we also spoke together on this when we opened some of the Gothic boxes. That there are a lot of sites in Gothic.
Yes, a ton.
And also a ton of new avatars. And that might indicate that Gothic is going to be the next, big standalone sort of set that is going to be carrying Sorcery forward.
Yeah.
At one point, Beta is going to be out of stock, out of print. And then Gothic is going to be the set that new sets are going to be standing on the shoulders at.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like the idea.
And I think it feels like it also.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Gothic is big enough to sort of like sustain being the new Beta, being the new like core set for a while. And I think and hope that Beta is like slowly going to like be faded out now, because it has seen a lot of reprints, and I think there are enough singles out there that probably they won't get too expensive if we don't see another printing, I hope. But again, they already did discuss sort of a revised set or something in the future, picking up on staples. So I don't think like people should worry too much about the game getting too expensive. So Jürgen, hi, thank you so much for joining. That was amazing to see people. That was another thing for like 2025. I feel like we had the good fortune to just really meet a lot of great people this year. We had a lot of.
Are we already done with Gothic?
No. I'm just saying that, just like picking up on Jürgen, just like we really met a lot of awesome people this year. Had a lot of people who were kind enough to come on the channel so we could interview them. That has really also been awesome. And now back to Gothic.
Back to Gothic.
To Gothic.
I also love that they've been licensing more art. Quentin Hoover, Brom, those pieces are, readily available. A lot of people can get them if you get them in foil. And I love that they have taken the care and also, maybe the cost of licensing art from these very iconic artists into the game. That's just amazing.
But there's a button there. I'm excited to hear this.
I love Gothic. But if I should have some sort of criticism...
You are allowed to just be happy.
No.
Okay.
I'm a philosopher.
No can do.
As the good philosopher Quine said, in philosophy, agreement goes without saying. So, of course, Gothic is great. We all agree about that. But what do we not like about Gothic? I think there are too few ordinaries. And I don't think there are a lot of the ordinaries that kick enough. There's not enough punch in many of the ordinaries. And I don't think the exceptionals are that good either. I think the most beef and power, besides the sides, is actually in the elite slot and the unique slot. And there are a lot of cards in these two slots, of course. But compared to better, I think we had some better ordinaries and better exceptionals.
But don't you think that could be on purpose? I'm going to ask you, Chad, do we agree that there's not enough power in the ordinary and exceptional slot of Gothic?
Compared to better.
I think that might be like on purpose, because if you have a set like better that's like foundational, it's still in print, it's still out there, you can still buy it. You don't want to make a similar set, because then you will have power creep, because you have to give people a reason to buy these new cards. But if you instead make a set where the rarity is slightly shifted, like more uniques than ever before, and less power in some of the common and exceptionals, then people will hopefully buy Gothic, combine it with better, and have an even better sort of deck building experience. Do you think it could be like intentional?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. And I don't know if I agree. Like Death Knight is an exceptional.
Yeah.
And that's really strong if you want to play. And I mean, that's like one of the really good cards for one of the pre-con avatars that people will like be drawn to, because that's something you can buy, and you buy as some of the first cards. I don't know that I necessarily agree. I'm not sure. I think I need to dive more into Gothic before I will know quite yet. But without a doubt, it is the set with the most uniques in it. And I think that's also intentional. I think that's a bit for like the collector perspective, that if you have a lot of uniques, there will be a lot of like, you need to trade, you need to buy some singles. There are like a lot of core pieces you will have to buy. There are some good ordinary cards like Ghostfire. Yes. Actually, I think Eric also mentioned that in the interview with Team Covenant, that like Ghostfire and what did he say? Lash and Bullwhip, are they not all ordinary or exceptionals?
Yes,
I believe so. And there was like some of those cards where Eric said these are actually really banger and something I would pick up.
But are they banger in a sort of limited environment or banger in general?
I think
Ghostfire, I would probably not run that in a constructed deck.
But I think this was he was answering specifically for limited, as far as I remember. I might be taking that out of context, but I think it was for limited. But I don't know. I still feel there's like the synergy, and some of these cards are like making space for you to upgrade beta and combine. Yeah, I don't know. I think like I'm a fan. What are we saying? How unique is unique if there are tons of uniques?
But there's not a ton. You need to open a ton of boxes to get the ton of uniques.
Yes, exactly. Also, just like the time
we don't have elite sort of problem this time around.
No, they are true uniques, and they are hard to pull for sure. What are we saying here? I try to pre-con battle Gothic versus Beta and Beta 1 all the time. That's actually interesting because I was we had a friend over who's in our local playgroup, and you guys did a single game, and we had our Gothic and our Beta precons out, and I was actually thinking, how would they sort of fare against each other? And how would they like play and match up? But like clearly Gregor here is saying that the Beta precon won.
Okay, I'm a bit surprised because I think the precons have actually been running really smoothly.
Yeah.
But it's also quite some time since I played with the Beta precons. We did a
loan to play like in November, December. Yeah.
Oh,
that was Beta.
We need to do an element head-to-head sort of thing.
The 110 rarity split is very interesting. It is indeed, and very unusual. I don't remember like many other sets in other TCGs either,
Nope.
where they decided to like sort of just equalize it.
And it's of course to make collecting the set harder.
Yeah, and also probably sort of like maintaining some collector value and collectability for the set, I think. Probably. Guys, like what do you think of Gothic? Because this is a live stream, so we're going to take full advantage of actually being able to talk with you guys.
Your genius input.
Genius input. Ooh,
genius.
Genius. Okay, much better. So let us know in the comments. What do you think? Put it in the live chat. I'm eager to hear if people are excited. Too many uniques, not enough power in the ordinary slot, or what do you think of the set? Let us know.
Maybe doing a little... you need to mention one positive thing and one negative thing.
Oh, the teacher is coming out to play.
Yes.
Yeah, but please do fire away in the live chat. That would be great to hear. Are there anything else? We mentioned Gothic, Dragonlord, Organized Play, the Judge Program. Crossroads, yes. Of course, that was one of the major things that happened in 2025.
Yeah.
I'm going to start complaining, and then I'll transition into some positive, because there's a lot of great things to be said about it. So my main sort of gripe with the Crossroads right now is that if you look at the US, they had 4 in total Crossroads. I believe that there was 1 at Gen Con, then there were 3 at the next ongoing SCG cons. And in Europe, we had 1 single Crossroads. And I know the game is definitely bigger. There is a bigger US audience for the game. But I think that we could also in Europe have like sustained a second Crossroads. I think 2 Crossroads in 2025 would have been realistic and doable. I feel like there could maybe even have been like a Northern Europe one and then a Southern Europe one, just to sort of get more people to have more easy access to joining a Crossroads, and in effect also be able to buy the Dragonlord, because that was like one of the only opportunities here in Europe. It was to go to the single Crossroads in September in Germany if you wanted to actually buy a box of Dragonlord. So that's my complaint. I will really hope to see in 2026 that we will have more Crossroads in Europe, because the first one sold out, and I think there would be more than enough interest to actually have a secondary one. So
let's see the comments, because I think there's a lot of very interesting comments here. Oops. There
you go.
There.
Let's see. There's one there.
All right. So Sarah Prime. It's great. Lots of theory crafting to do. Yes.
For sure. Also, because it's such a big set, I mean, I'm happy that we don't have another set coming next month, because I'm not even like, we're just dipping our toes into to Gothic. So there's so much still to do with it.
Definitely. And there's Omega Soul.
Yes.
I'm not wearing my glasses because I get this hideous reflection of the light.
You get the undead vibe with
the glasses. What does it say? Indeed, having 13 avatars, there's a lot of things to do and a lot to figure out. Already I've been seeing some deck tech, some gameplays out there. People are trying to break the magician. And you can definitely do some fun things with that avatar, but also you run out of gas really quickly if you're not lucky.
Yeah.
But you can set up for some really powerful turns. And I played 3 games yesterday against the Buddy on TTS, and I used a deck that I found online with the Interrogator. I would not maybe make my deck like that, but playing the Interrogator was really fun. And when you stump face, it really begins to either give you a lot of cards or do some massive damage. But you are very afraid of Poison Nova. Stacking all your minions around their avatar feels very unsafe.
Yeah, I could imagine. I've only tried Necromancer and Savior so far, just sticking to really getting into the precons, and also build a Necromancer deck because I love token and token generations. That's been a lot of fun, but I feel like I'm still ill-equipped to answer any questions on Gothic. in terms of like gameplay, because we're just like only just getting into it because the products were like pretty delayed for Europe. We are getting Gregor saying plus for the size, minus maybe too many uniques.
I agree.
And then we're having Asking cough. That is coming up, Jürgen. We will be talking about Asking Rask a bit later in our highlights or excitement for 2026. There you go.
Oh, your thoughts on Gothic regarding best element? I think that's very hard to answer, also because the set is so big and so massive right now. I might lean towards air.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction.
I think air got some really nice undeads, some nice demons, and some nice spirits. But they also got some very powerful auras.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's over there in my pile. But there's this aura that you can cast that makes your opponent's avatar unable to move, be defended, and gain life. Only 3 mana. That is insanely powerful.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
If you're unlucky and you don't have a dispel or something to get rid of that aura, you're going to get beat.
People do not agree. People are all saying fire. Always fire. Putting my bed on fire. Fire. I feel like I
as a fire player disagree.
Okay. I actually think like fire got some really cool stuff. I also think that maybe the Archangel Samael was really nice also in terms of adding some hardcore stuff for fire. We are saying, wow, I think water is the strongest for constructed earth for limited. Interesting. But again, I still feel like I don't quite have enough of a handle on Gothic. I haven't at least really delved into it enough to be sure. But interesting to hear that there's a lot of opinions, a lot of fire going on, and then some water and earth here. Interesting.
Yeah. I think fire got some, strong cards individually, but in total, I don't think fire is the best of element in Gothic. And I also think that air might have gotten one of the best cards in the set, the Den of Evil.
Yeah, it's a good card, but best card?
I think that might be one of the best cards in the set. We saw the impact that Pond had in Arthurian Legends, and we saw how important it was for the Steam Druid. Having a site that does the same thing, but with evil, so more minion types, demons, undeads, and monsters is very powerful.
Yeah.
And combine air with water, and you suddenly have some ramp and some discount to play some of those very powerful creatures. Minions.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Magic play here. Minions. Yes. And, combine it again with the Harbinger. And, yeah, you're looking down the barrel of some very powerful minions.
Jürgen is saying, like Sophie said, I really like that part of the sentence. Sometimes it's okay just to be happy with fire.
Indeed. And Jürgen, as a philosopher, the saying that Immanuel Kant had, that do you actually listen, or can you hear when a tree falls in the wood if no one is there? Does it make a sound? It's the same thing. Are you wrong if your wife is not around? The answer is, of course, yes. Still wrong.
Portland Stu is saying Eric did get some incredible cards, but isn't great across the board. Storm Guys and Spear, and then all crazy good cards in there.
Definitely.
Indeed. Oh, I think this is actually really interesting because I feel like people are drawn to the Ether Core because the art is amazing. Let's not like Adam Bird knocked that one out of the park. I think it's really, really nice. And then they have like the association of the core with the other cores, which have the whole Alchemy 9. So are people like overestimating Ether Core? Let's start with that. No, yes, maybe.
No, definitely not.
Hey.
So
what?
No, but.
Okay, what do you think?
Turn 1, you play a tower, and then you play some sort of Void Walk minion in air. That's your turn 1 play because you get that extra mana. Turn 2, you play Ether Core on that minion. And I think it costs 1, right? The Ether Core? I believe it does.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you have 4 mana on turn 2. Still to use. And then turn 3, you suddenly have 6 mana
That's a nice amount of ramp on
That's
your
a
mana
lot of ramp.
and resources there.
But of course, it is a bit more fragile than having the cores and the P-stones, because if your opponent can take out your Voidborg minion and take your core,
yeah,
it's lost. But I think it's very powerful.
But the other part is,
it's definitely oh, I'm sorry. It's sort of a dark ritual.
Yeah,
and it's if you can't deal with it, it's a repetitive dark ritual each turn. That's too good.
The key to the city is just generically easier and better. How do you feel about that? Also,
I think it's
please participate
easier.
in chat.
I think it helps with managing some of those pesky sites that can really ruin your game. But I don't think the key is going to be as important as the ether core.
Let's just say hi.
But I've
Hello
been wrong
there.
on
Hey,
multiple
Kale.
occasions.
Good to see you. And thanks for joining. We are just talking about all the cool things in 2025 and sort of got stuck on Gothic and just talking about how awesome the set is.
Yeah, but both cards are great. Right now, Ether Core is the most expensive card, and then comes Key to the City.
Yeah, and I think, of course,
And
people can
stay,
just see that from a game perspective, having sort of additional resources is always a good thing. Interesting point of view here. So many tokens in the set. I kind of hope they offer more alt arts for them through the Dust Store. Yeah. I think that is I hope they will do that. And I also think that it's interesting to see that Team Covenant, as well as Rudy from Alpha Investment, they both got tokens this time around. I think that's a good way to sort of evening out the playing field, because then they're not getting super important cards with alternate art that will become very high value. They are just getting a token, but some really cool arts. I especially enjoyed the Team Covenant one. Yeah, and I do think we will see more in the Dust Store. And if you're interested, we are beginning to send out our token just after New Year's. So if you are feeling like supporting us, we never talk about it, but I will do it in this video. We have a Patreon and also YouTube channel memberships, and we will be sending out some really cool skeleton tokens that we did a commission for with Amelia Leonards. And we will be sending those out. So if you sign up for our Patreon or YouTube channel memberships before January 5th-ish, we will be sending that off to you guys.
Yeah. Speaking of the Dust Store.
Yes.
I'm in total conflict with myself, because I really like the Dan Seagrave avatar art for the precons.
Yeah.
I bloody love it. And I think they are better than the real art that we have in the main set.
Better, different, at least.
I like them better.
Yeah.
And of course, if I should run any of those avatars, I would like to have Dan Seagrave's art for them. But I would also like to have them in foil.
Yes.
So should they come to the Dust Store in foil, even though that might take the incentive to buy the precons decks away?
I don't think it will, because I think it's so we're discussing if the foil versions of the precons should be in the Dust Store for the alternate art done by Dan Seagrave. I think I don't think it's the same demographic, because if you're buying something on the Dust Store, you already have enough dust, you're already sort of in the sorcery system, and then you buy it. That's for people who are already in sorcery. If you're just getting precons, besides the collectability of the alternate art avatars, is to play with them. You're new to the game, you don't even know about the dust system yet. I think there will be plenty of people buying those precons anyway. So I actually do hope to see the Dan Seagrave arts for the precon avatars in the Dust Store in a foil version.
I really hope
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. So you have a curio question.
We have a curio question. I will just find it. There it was. Assuming we only have 7 curios in total, do you think this is better or worse? I think what I like about it, if we go that way about it, I enjoy that all these 7 curios are very intentional. They are very sort of on brand for the concept of curios. I think multiple of them have There's really great flavor that fits with the art, the mechanics, the name, everything. I think like my favorite example might be City of Glass, having like that sort of transparent card with no text, sort of riffing off the name of City of Glass. I feel like it's a genius concept. And I think all 7 curios are very clearly curios. It's not like minor text changes. They're really obvious curios. And I like that part, especially if there are a lot of new people coming in with Gothic, not quite understanding what curios are. Then I think it's good that they are clearly curios and clearly different from like the main card. I feel like 7, the issue is if you want to have as many curios in Gothic as you had for the other sets, and it does look like we're getting around the same pull rate right now with all like insecurities and uncertainties on data, there are going to be probably a lot more copies of these 7 than there are of the other ones because they're not divided between multiple types. In Alpha and Beta, we had 18 individual curio types, Arthurian Legends, 13. So 7 is a lot less. So I'm not ruling out that there might be more curios we haven't found. And I love all the 7 curios we have right now. But I think in terms of collectability, if it turns out that they just printed more to make up for the fact that there are fewer types, it might get into some murky waters, especially for those who bought the curios early on, because some of them went for some very, very high prices. And if suddenly it turns out that there are like double the amount of a manor than of a beta sketch curio, that might be an issue. But I love them, and I think all 7 are really great. And we'll have to see sort of like what the pull rate ends up being. So, yes. Well, Seagrave avatars. In general, I love all the art that Dan Seagrave has done for Gothic. There are so many flavorful and beautiful pieces of art by Dan Seagrave.
He was also one of the artists that we sort of guessed would be in Gothic.
Him and Brian Smith, who is also really represented in
but Brian Smith was sort of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and
I think we also mentioned that in the video on Matthias Frisk also.
Yes, definitely.
But Dan Seagrave had done some sinister stuff in Beta and Alpha.
For sure.
I was like, yeah, he's going to be there.
Yes.
And he was. And I think, he has gotten a lot of pieces actually.
Yes, he definitely has. So I'm going to ask chat before I ask you, because then you guys have a chance to sort of type it out.
Yes.
Please give me your highlight moment of 2025. I would love to sort of like gather up some good karma in the comment section here and just let us know what was your best moment of 2025 in Sorcery. So, Jens, what was your best moment in 2025 that is Sorcery related?
Best moment. I'm not the most social of people. I like being around people, but I do need to build up the courage to actually be really sociable and get out of my sort of comfort zone.
Out of your shell.
Out of my shell, yeah. And a very nice Swedish guy, Ragnar, that I met at a tournament once, had written me and said, Lincon in Sweden, a tournament in Sweden is going to be kicking off. Are you coming? And I was like, nope, not coming. Then he wrote again, like, it could be fun. Are you coming? No. You can stay at my home if you want. Stay with my family. You can stay the entire weekend. Are you coming? I like the offer. Still no. I talked with Matthias Frisk, and you can visit his studio and do an interview with him. Are you coming now? I was like, that's almost too good.
That's too
Still
good
no.
to pass up.
And I was like, I think it actually hits a sort of holiday in Denmark. I was like, okay, you got me. So I went to Sweden. I drove all the way to Sweden, and I stayed at Ragnar's place. It was really cozy. So nice of him to just open up his home for me. And Matthias Frisk and some of others, Ragnar's other friends came over on the Friday when I arrived. And we had a barbecue together, and we played a lot of sorcery games. The day after, we went to a tournament. And then we just drove home and talked about the victories and fun plays and had some food together. And then I stayed the night, and the day after we just took a little walk, and then I drove home to Denmark. And it was really cool. It was so cozy. It was so nice to meet all of them again. I've met them before. It was a very nice tournament. But I think the coolest part was, for me actually going, getting out there, saying yes, and then having a wonderful time. So that was my peak highlight of 2025. What about you?
So casual sorcery gaming with good people.
Yes.
Cool. I'm just gonna sort of like see what the chat is saying. So opening Dragon Lord was a highlight moment. Yeah, I get that. This is also like the set was announced like even before the Kickstarter. I think like really long time ago. It was announced by Eric, I think on Twitter, formally Twitter, that he would be doing this collaboration with Ed. So it's something that a lot of people have been waiting a long time for. And Zach is saying his first cornerstone won it with the Enchantress, made it easier to convince Phil that this was a game for us. Please do check out our latest interview with the Eternal Turtles and the Common Sense Sorcery podcast, where we actually speak about this as well. It was a great talk with both Zach and Phil. Yes.
So I'm just curious, because I spoke with one of the Danish players, Niklas, about actually, playing Enchantress, because it's a very fun avatar. But that avatar did not get much love with the set of Gothic. So what are your upgrades for your Enchantress deck with the Gothic cards?
I will take some of the other ones while Zach has a chance to type out a reply. Finishing my playsets for beta and during Legends. Ooh, that's a good one. The feeling of like being like crossing it out and being like done. That's really cool. We also finished our set of Arthurian Legends fairly late, like not that long ago.
Month before the release of Gothic or something.
Yeah, I think something like that. But I think that's sort of the beauty of having that one set per year. You're not like in a major hurry. So we decided to actually just do a very chill collecting. We also have a highlight moment. Playing a Draft Cube 4-player game was a lot of fun. Shows how much the game offers. Casual gaming with friends and Dragon Lord Avatar. That sounds like so much fun. I think like multiplayer, I had the most cool and fun game, actually both at the Crossroads, but also Siege at the Core. At Siege at the Core, I was playing against Richard from the Trolls. They sell sorcery product and are also big fans of the game. Vincent Pompetti, the sorcery artist, and Pietro Di Cielo, the altarist. We had like a 4-person multiplayer game, and it was just so much fun. Very casual, very cool, and always like fun to play with some of the artists that actually know the game and play the game. So that was a lot of fun. I love that the
artists are also playing sorcery.
Yes, absolutely.
Frisk is also very much into playing sorcery, which is so cool.
Yeah, but it must also help sort of like creating the art for sorcery that you sort of know the game enough to sort of play it and understand the mechanics. So are you going to say it and then we go back to Zach's comment, whatever you're going to say?
Yeah, it was just fun. I spoke with Uffe. He visited us and we did some trading, and he had actually been playing against Matthias Frisk, and the death blow was with the mine explosion.
He killed Matthias with his own art. I think that's very poetic. Fun. So Zach is saying here that just as it rains, Sphere of Animosity and Clairvoyant, only 6 cards are added some utility spells as well. She didn't get much.
Nope, definitely. But
seems like a fair assessment.
Very strong.
Okay, so my highlight of 2025, multiplayer game was a lot of fun, but I have to say, like, sometimes when I go to the events, I try to go to as many as possible. Just hanging out with the community. It sounds incredibly simple, and it really is, but Sorcery has an amazing community. People are super welcoming. I've just had a lot of good times. Also hang out like with all the people who are like behind the scenes, both at the Crossroads in Germany, but also Siege at the Core. When all the players are in the middle of rounds, I usually sit around with the artists, then also any of the vendors, Heina from PCG, Grading, and also White Rabbit Community Game Store, Ron and Richard, who have Trolls of the Realm, the website. There's just like a great community, like with the players and everybody, but also a lot of us who don't play actively at the games, who get a chance to just talk, hang out, decide what new events we want to create, discuss how we can help support each other. There's just like multiple great communities within also a really cool community. So I have to say, like, hang out with the awesome community of sorcery players and friends, both at the European Crossroads, but also Siege at the Core. Definitely highlight moments in sorcery. Cool. So let's see if we have more highlight moments from you guys. Do let us know in the chat if you have more awesome sorcery moments from 2025 you want to share.
Yeah, and if you haven't played any multiplayer yet, do it.
Yes, it's so much fun.
A lot of fun.
It's chaos, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely chaos. There's both, the big multiplayer, 4-player chaos, everybody against everybody, and that's also the two-headed dragon.
Dragon, yes, not giant, but dragon.
Dragon.
Yes, but
that's
also
a very fun format.
Even like the 4-player, there are a lot of different formats. You can also have like the capture the flag one that has specific rules. You can find that also on some of the Discords, but super fun. Yes, congratulations on pulling the curio. That would also have been my highlight moment. I was actually talking to Eunice from Contested Cards. He does amazing sorcery content. Check it out. And he said, like, okay, if you ever do pull a curio, you need to make a video on it. And I said, okay, if I ever pull a curio, we're doing a video, doing a live stream, doing a freaking parade if we ever manage to pull a curio. So for the capture the flag and like the multiplayer games I've tried at events, the grid size has been absolutely enormous. But what is it for the one? We have one at home that was from Kitchen Table TCG. He did a couple 4-players. He has one in store right now, I believe.
Oh, I can't remember. See if I can find a photo.
Yeah, otherwise going to his store at Kitchen Table TCG. He has one on sale right now. We will figure it out for you. You did a video. I get that. I would also do a video because it would be amazing. We've been following the curios, doing a lot of like collecting the data, the sales data, but never actually pulled one. We've seen a couple though in person, and they are amazing. So I think we were about an hour, so we're going to slowly transition into 2026. Please hit up the chat with what are you guys looking forward to in 2026? What are we excited for? What things are we looking forward to the most? Is it the upcoming set? Is it events? Let us know what you have going on, and then we will also discuss our like highlights of 2026 we are excited for. So what are we looking at here?
It's a bit hard to describe, but it's sort of in what's it called?
I'm just going to see if we can actually just do this. So, yeah.
So you see your bottom row is 3 squares, then it's 5. And then each player have this, and then there's 9 in the middle.
Yes. So Kitchen Table TCG, if you want to check it out, and if you are in the US, you can probably also purchase it there. SorceryCon, SorceryCon in Indianapolis in February. Massive amount of sorcery artists coming. It looks like a super cool event. Unfortunately, not really a great time here in Europe for anything like that. It's like middle of the school semester. So otherwise, we would really have loved to come. It looks like it's going to be a kick-ass event.
Yeah, and the two-headed dragon, it's Beast of the Bay.
Yes, Beast of the Bay. They have like play mats, the rules, everything.
Play mats, yeah.
SorceryCon, multiple people. Oh, I want to go to SorceryCon too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think SorceryCon looks absolutely amazing. Also, there's like a good range. It's both US artists, but also plenty of European artists. So it's looking like that is going to be a really great way to start off your sorcery year. What about you? What are you excited for in 2026? There are a few things coming up, but what's your personal favorite?
That's hard.
Yeah.
Might be.
Oh, you're cheating. You're looking on my sheet.
Yeah, looking at your sheet. I think there was one thing on your sheet that was actually good.
One thing that was actually good. Wow.
Yes, then you know how it is, right?
Yes, exactly.
No, I think I'm mostly looking forward to actually building decks. I think we got 30 new avatars with Gothic, which is an insane amount. And so many combinations, so much to do. So I'm looking very much forward to building decks and, of course, collecting the set. But also building decks.
Yes.
I just, I think it will be hard for me to contain myself. I have a bit of an issue of making a lot of decks and not having the heart to pull them apart again, and then stacking decks a lot. So, but I think we'll try to build an interrogator deck. That's my go-to for 2026. What about you?
Some people are saying getting some local play groups started because there's not a lot of play in the area or in the country. Same, also sparse. I can really recommend if you have like an LGS that you enjoy being at otherwise, just like if you have the one friend that knows how to play, showing up, doing the precons, doing like in sort of impromptu learn to play. I think that would be good, or even having the LGS advertise that you're willing to sit there and do some learn to play. We have like a quite good amount of like new people coming in, or just like seeing the game and asking questions about it. So sort of like crash a Friday Night Magic and show up some sorcery cards. That might be helpful.
Yes, but do expect to be a bit disappointed the first time.
Yes,
because we did crash a Friday Night Magic, hoping that the art and the play match would attract people, and they just played Magic.
Yeah.
But the second time around, a few people actually came to our table and was like, "Oh, what is that?" And we also had this learn to play event where a lot of new players actually participated.
That was a good one. There were quite enough people completing their playset probably of a 3 in Legends. Sounds like a goal. It does indeed. Love to meet more community members. Gregor, I think like 2026 has to be the year where we actually get to meet up. That would really be wonderful if that we can make that happen.
Might be some big plans.
It might be. Sounds like plan also having more local play at the LGS. Absolutely. What I am most excited for, I'm kind of torn. Like it feels obvious to say the new set coming, sure, but right now I'm super excited for Gothic, and I'm not even ready to think about a new set yet. Jens and me and Jürgen from Nerd and Proud of It, and also Heine from the White Rabbit Community Game Store, have been sort of doing once a year events in Germany called Askenrask. It is a smaller tournament for roughly like 48 players. And I'm really excited. We're doing chapter 3 this year, so 3rd year in a row that we will be providing a really cool tournament, hopefully for people. And I am super excited to do chapter 3, and hopefully with some more flavor. We sort of had a talk about it, and like as we get more organized play, we don't necessarily need more spaces to play, but maybe some more like thematic events that are just like a great experience. So we are really trying to make something cool out of chapter 3. And then, of course, Avatar of the Realm. When they introduced organized play, Sorcery Team said that they would host like a world championship. And I had hoped it would be in 2025, but it will be in 2026. So Avatar of the Realm, presumably in the US. I really hope we get some more news about it soon. I hope it is like an independent event that is like all about sorcery for the sorcery community by the Sorcery Team. Lots of artists, lots of fun and casual gameplay. So Avatar of the Realm, the first ever world championship of Sorcery Contested Realm, I think that might be my highlight of 2026. And we are pretty dedicated to making sure that we are actually at the event, at least one of us.
Yes, if we are allowed to enter the US.
If we're allowed to enter the US.
We shall see. A lot of people are saying, going to tournaments, meeting the community, meeting players, meeting artists. And that is really, in my optics, what sorcery is all about.
Yeah,
it's about the game, of course. It's about the art. But having this sort of community, meeting the other players, having this great sportsmanship-like behavior when you go to tournaments, and just enjoy the game with fellow-minded people.
Yeah, for sure.
But also meeting the artists. It's great to see their passion and their dedication to their craft, and then getting those signatures is really, second sort of collecting.
Cherry on the top as well, right?
Yes.
Just like having those signatures. I think like it's been a privilege to meet a lot of the artists, and they are usually just so nice and kind and generous with their time. And yeah, it's really been a pleasure. And they're so eager to sort of like discuss all the nuances of the art that they're creating for Sorcery. So that has really also been a pleasure. Absolutely. But I mean, other things coming up, we also probably are getting some mini sets next year if we're listening closely to the Team Covenant interview that they did with Eric. More SCG cons have already been announced. We will see. It is yet to be determined if they will also be Crossroads. Of course, the next main set will come out sometime next year, probably during the fall. And then the big Avatar of the Realm. I really hope that it's going to be sort of like Sorcery Con with like heavy focus on getting a lot of the artists there. It would be so cool to have like a lot of artists and doing like an art discussion panel or something like that. Again, in keeping with sort of making sure that the tournaments and events are also about the community and not only the gameplay.
Thank you. Doing the interviews has been really great.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It is really fun, and it's great to meet the artists and having these very in-depth nerdy talks. That's amazing. And they are, just so generous with their time and so knowledgeable. It's really one of the greatest thing about being a content creator, might actually be doing these artist interviews, even though it's not the most seen of our content, to say the least. It is very enjoyable for us to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm glad that you enjoy it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like getting to talk to the artists and then like getting to talk to you guys, having that community around us, that has been like the absolute perk of being a content creator. It's been so much fun. It's definitely worth all the hours that we put in it, because creating community and sort of helping to spread the good word of Sorcery has really been nice also in 2025. Oh, yes. Looking forward to learning the game and getting some online play. Definitely. I hope you already are aware there are a couple of Discords that are like really focused on this. So Sorcerers at the Core, they have a Discord and they do limited play for both Europe and US each week. And they also have like a constructively going. So if you find our Discord down in the description, if you join, I can sort of like point you to some of all these Discords if you don't already have a couple of invitations for them. I wish I had learned about it earlier to enjoy some of that sweet alpha. Yeah, I think like alpha is of course really similar to beta, but all the extra faceta art is it's pretty cool. I think so. YouTube just did content with Zach and Phil. We did indeed. It was great. Looking forward to more. Thank you so much. We are going to continue our content creator spotlight. I think like the majority of all the content creators in Sorcery are really interested in collaborating, helping each other out, and just like there's a really good vibe going with the content creators as well. So we are looking forward to sort of featuring especially some of the newer channels. We have done a lot of interviews already. Rudosaurus, Lord of Itza, Mike Savati, but that was like a while ago, like in the beginning, I think. We also talked to Zach from Team Covenant. In general, we have
Jürgen from the Predator.
Jürgen, of course, we have multiple collaborations with him. So always looking to do some fun collaborations with some of the other content creators.
Yeah, but we're glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was really enjoyable to
me. We had a lot of fun. It was one of those interviews where we were like, okay, so it's getting pretty long, this video, but we could actually keep on talking.
We could. We just had a very hard deadline because we did this our afternoon close to dinner time, and we needed to stop it to make dinner for the kids. And they had been very early to actually sort of match the timing with us.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the time zones, that has been a fun challenge to navigate and continues to be a fun challenge.
Yeah, but it was a great talk, and I really enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I did.
A lot of great insights.
Yeah, and just great guys. It's always like fun to have a good vibe going. I think we've pretty much covered everything we wanted to cover.
Oh no!
Yeah. What else, my friend?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I think Happy New Year is a good sentiment to maybe end off with.
Yes, but let us also know if you have some questions.
Yes, while we are here, just feel free to ask any questions. We are here to reply and see if we can help out, if there's anything we can do.
Yeah, but if no questions are coming in, we hope that you have a very enjoyable and happy New Year. and are just enjoying the end of this year and the beginning of the next. And we hope to see you at tournaments, on the channel, in our Discords, and wherever we can find you, and build community and play sorcery.
Indeed. And again, I think I would also like to end off with some gratitude for all of you guys watching. It really does make a difference every time you choose to click on one of our thumbnails and watch it. It lets YouTube know that there are actually people watching. Make sure that other people also see some sorcery content on their feed. Hitting the like button is extremely helpful. So if you're watching this right now, please do smash the like button because it really helps out. And then, of course, also a massive thank you to each and every one of our Patreon supporters and our YouTube channel members. You guys have really provided a lot of support during the last 2 years, even I think we're ending up with now. It really makes a huge difference. That's why we can travel to a lot of events. We can make tokens that we can ship off to you guys. And in general, just pay all of the different sort of editing software and streaming software that we use for the channel. So we really appreciate you guys. And if you're interested in supporting us, please do check it out in the description down below.
Keep consisting the realm. Yeah. And also, thank you for showing up to this little happy informal sorcery talk.
Absolutely. Thanks for all your work in 2025. Can't wait for Sorcery, you and awesome community in 2026. Let us end it off with that incredibly happy and positive comment. Everybody, Happy New Year. I hope you have an amazing New Year's tomorrow, and we will see you in 2026. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, guys.